Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Getting Started with TradeStation. I'm very glad to be here to talk a little bit about TradeStation accounts, processes, maybe answer some questions that you guys have about, the account opening process, how to get your trading activity information, or how to even download the TradeStation software. So, welcome everyone. Make yourself comfortable and get your questions ready for me. That's the reason why we're here. The Getting Started is an opportunity for you to meet our education team and for us to connect with you and make sure that you get all your questions answered. Okay, Ricardo, how you doing? Everyone, welcome from wherever you are connecting from. I know that we usually have connections from all over the United States and sometimes even international connections. So thank you for being here. All right, let me go ahead and remove some of the windows, get my monitors cleaned out. Um, hmm, Perfect. So the title of this presentation is Account Management and Resources using the TradeStation Client Center. A lot of times we overlook all the things that you can do inside of the Client Center, and some of the things that are designed in the Client Center are meant to make your TradeStation use a little bit more simple. There's a lot of things you can do inside of the Client Center that you don't need to call our support team to get an answer on. So that's some of the things that we're going to talk about today, because I know that nobody here likes to talk to or call, a client services team, especially if you have to wait on hold for a long period of time. So before we jump into today's topic, let's just go through some of the introductions. My name is Jesus Nava. For those that don't know me, I'm the Director of Client Training and Education for TradeStation Securities. And let's just go through some of the disclosures here. Keep in mind that every symbol and idea that we talk about is for educational purposes only. These are not, recommendations of TradeStation. Also, that active trading is not suitable for everyone, and that past historical performance is no guarantee of future results. We have several links here. You have www.tradestation.com/important information right there at the top. And I know that Manolo is also sharing that link right here in the chat. Thank you, Manolo, for that. And you also have other links here on risks that are associated with trading options and futures. We have those in there because we are going to talk about some of those asset classes and how the client center handles them. Okay, so I have a few screenshots right here in this PowerPoint that we're going to go through, because a lot of times, my educational login to TradeStation doesn't have a real account tied up with it. So it doesn't have real money. So some of the functionality that it's inside of the client center may not be available to me because I'm just using like a trading simulator type of login. So I have some screenshots of real accounts that I've captured so that you can get a real experience on how the client center addresses some of those issues. But the first question is, how do we access the client center? If we are on the TradeStation website, this is tradestation.com, all you need to do is go here to the very top and click on login. All right. When you click on login, of course, you have our web trading platforms that you can use to put in trades. Right here on the right, you have the Futures Plus platform and you have the TradeStation Crypto platform. Now, these two platforms on the right-hand side, of course, you need a special account to access them, or at least, be enabled for them. Like, for example, TradeStation Crypto, I think you have to use an equities account, but it has to be crypto enabled. So just to give you an example, Futures Plus is the type of account that you use to trade options on futures. So if that is something that interests you and you'd like to trade options on futures, then that would be the type of that would be the platform that you would use. Now, in order to use Futures Plus, you do need a special login. So if your intention is to trade options on futures, make sure that you talk to your account representative and they'll give you all the details in terms of what's required for you to access Futures Plus. But with your TradeStation login, if you're just trading equities or electronic futures, you use the web trading login buttons here to access our web-based platform. Whenever I do a platform presentation, I always clarify that you have multiple ways in which you can place trades on TradeStation. Web trading is one of those platforms that you access on an internet browser. It doesn't matter which one you use. You can use Safari, you can use Firefox, you can use Chrome, whichever internet browser you like most. You should be able to pull up the web trading platform. But the web trading platform, when you compare it to our desktop platform, I always call the web trading platform a more simplified version of TradeStation. So you have a choice here. Now you can use the simplified version, or you can go to the one that is the one that has all the bells and whistles, is what I say. That's the desktop. And a lot of people use them together. Sometimes you may be in front of your formal and powerful computer, the one you've invested a lot of resources on, and that's the one you use for the TradeStation desktop. But a lot of times, you may be on the road, you may have a tablet or a laptop, and you don't really want to install, the whole software. You can always access web trading and use those two as a complement of each other. And that's a great way of doing them, because all these platforms, even though they look a little bit different, they are interconnected. So anything you do in one will be reflected on the other, would just give you different ways in which you can trade your TradeStation account. And I explained all those different buttons just to get to this one, which is the Client Center. This is the highlight of today's presentation, where we're going to take a look at some of the resources that are available to all clients in terms of how do I manage my account, how do I access information, and please use this opportunity to ask questions about any of the processes that are in here. So I'm going to click on login. I'm going to use my education login here, just so that I can get the Client Center pulled up. Let's see. Uh-oh. This is not the right username. Okay, that seems to work now. Okay, so this is what the Client Center looks like in my login. It doesn't have, as I said before, it doesn't have all the trading accounts or live trading and real brokerage accounts where you have funds on, but some of the functionality here is going to be very similar to what you see on your side. I'm getting a very prominent red banner at the very top that says security profile incomplete. You may get this too. A lot of times we want to make sure that your account is protected and it's secured, and we're going to ask you to set up, your security profile. If it's, some security questions that we ask you in order to get access to your account information, or, multi-factor authentication, whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that you protect your account, the security of your account. It's very important to TradeStation, and we want to make sure that you have these layers of security to protect not only your personal information, but also the assets in your account. So if I were logging into the Client Center and I see this red banner at the very top, then I would just go very quickly and update it now to make sure that all my accounts are secure. So I'm not going to do it right now, but just be aware of that in the Client Center. If you haven't done it, you'll see this red banner at the very top. The Client Center also has this menu at the very top. We're going to go through the different options here. You also have a big button here that says add an account. So even though you may already be a TradeStation client with an account and you've been trading for a while, you can log into the Client Center if you want to add an additional account. For whatever reason, maybe you already have an individual account, and now you want to maybe add a joint account, or maybe you want to do a corporate account. Whatever the reason may be, you can just log into the Client Center, add an account, and we'll use some of the information that is already, recorded in our database for you to open up this new account. It'll go through the account opening process, and it'll go to the new accounts department. It'll be reviewed, and I'll go through the regular processes that a TradeStation account goes through. But I just wanted to point out that you have a convenient button here to add more accounts to your TradeStation. And placing trade, if you go and hover here over placing trade, this is live trading and simulated trading. This uses a single login. So it assumes that you've already provided your login information. So if I click on simulated trading, it should automatically log me on to my web trading platform. So there we go. So it just loads TradeStation on the web. I'm able to see my account in here, and it's a quick way to access trading functionality if you are inside of the client center. Okay, that's the place trade button here. You also see the cryptocurrencies and futures options. These are the same options that you get when you click on login on the main TradeStation website. So let's go here. Before I click on any of the buttons here on the main navigation, you have a set of quick links. Let's talk about the quick links first. Apply for a fully paid lending program. So for any securities that you have in your account, you have the ability to participate in this program. You can click on this link to get details on it and make sure that, again, I'm going to say this many times during this presentation because a lot of the things that you may be interested in have to come through your account representative. So including this program, if you want to participate and you have questions on the program, make sure that you call your account rep for information. I'm just pointing it out here because you could potentially make some extra income on this program, for holdings in your account. You also have the ability to change your username or change your password. You can do that yourself in the client center. You don't have to call client services. You can also add, remove, platform features and data services. A lot of times during my presentations, I may pull up a chart and you may be doing the same thing on your side and you get maybe an NA or symbol not supported. It's mostly based on what data packages you have turned on in your account. Not everyone has the same data packages subscribed. So if you feel that you're missing some data, you can always come here inside of the client center and make sure that you have data packages selected. If I go over here to add, remove data services, let me go there for a moment. Because it does allow me to manage my software and data subscriptions, right here at the top, you have the platform features, and then you have all the data services that you are subscribed to. Now, of course, you can edit and click on edit here, and then it'll go into a page where you can go through different tabs here. These are all my platform features. If I want to go to the US market data, let me see how this works. Okay, US market data, there we go. US market data is organized by these main rows like index data, equity, and options data. So just go through the menu, see which items you need, which ones you don't. Not all of them are going to show free as they show up here. Notice, just remember that this is an educational account. When you go into the client center and you use your personal login information, you should get, what those data packages are going to cost you. And then you have the European market data as well. So come in here, make changes if you think that you're missing any of the data packages. All right, let me go back here to my home. I can click on this little house on the top left. I can access the tax center. The tax center is it's exclusive to equities. We have a tax center where you can download tax. We'll get into that in a little moment, but this is just a quick link to the tax center if you want to go there directly. Easy to borrow list. Okay, if I click here, this is a list that is updated regularly, sometimes multiple times a day, and it just lets you know which symbols are easy to borrow. Which is the opposite of hard to borrow, right? Easy to borrow just gives you a list of all the symbols that you can short. Easy to borrow is just for that purpose, for you to know if the symbol that you're interested in can be shorted or not. If you don't find a symbol that you want to short in here, you do have a process where you can inquire from the trade desk if you can short something or not. I believe there's an app inside of the TradeStation platform. It's called Intraday Short Locate, so that if you do find a symbol that you want to short and it shows in the TradeStation platform as hard to borrow, then you can request the trade desk to see if they can facilitate the shorting of that security. Most securities that are hard to borrow on the TradeStation platform will have some letters next to the symbol in parentheses. It'll be HB, hard to borrow. But this list right here inside of the client center is an updated list of everything that you can short. So if I pull in AAPL and I search, it says symbol AAPL is currently in the easy to borrow list. So it's just telling me that Apple can be shorted without any restrictions. So I can go to the TradeStation platform and short it. A lot of times we don't come here and double check securities before we trade them. A lot of times we just are in front of the TradeStation platform. We want to trade something, and if the order gets rejected is when we realize that there's some issues, and that's when we can go in here and try to search for symbols and see if there's any restrictions. Going back to home, I'm just referring here to the quick links. You have access to the threshold securities list, and you also have a special margin requirements lists. Okay, so those are lists that are updated regularly and are part of the quick links. Now, going through the different items here on the home, we have get up and running with TradeStation Fast. This, I believe this is just a link to the events page, and also here to the masterclass. Let me see where this links to. Let me click here. Should go to the getting started page on TradeStation. Let's see. Okay, that's where it takes you. Getting started with TradeStation. You can click on upcoming events. That's me right there in that picture. And you have video archives of recent presentations that we've done. So if you came to the getting started and you said, well, I really wanted a presentation on the desktop, and I'm not getting it today. Well, you don't have to wait until we do a desktop presentation. You can come here to the video archive and watch any of these archived presentations. So you can see that we have one on each one of the trading platforms. So feel free to do that. Okay, let me go back here to the Client Center. This link right here takes you to the masterclass. In the masterclass, we do more advanced topics on the TradeStation platform. And usually it's a category we have three main categories in masterclass. We have technical analysis presentations, where we highlight technical studies or indicators. We have a strategy trading or strategy development category. We show you strategy elements and how to run strategies. And then we have a third one, which is easy language, how to leverage easy language in your use of the platform. But those are more advanced topics. If you click on the masterclass, it'll take you to, again, a page on the TradeStation website that is dedicated to the TradeStation Masterclass. You have a button here to see what the upcoming events are. Usually, Masterclass is an event that we do every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. But if you scroll down, you have recent uploads. These are going to be updated regularly with most recent presentations. So here you have your technical analysis, strategy elements, leveraging easy language, and some of the guest sessions that need to be updated to more recent presentations. But again, from the Client Center, you have access to those links. Some other boxes here that you may be interested in. You have a quick button here to our contact us information, a quick link to downloading the TradeStation platform, going to client news or symbol list. I'm not sure what symbol list does. Oh, it's the easy to borrow. Okay. Okay, these are the lists. So easy to borrow list, threshold securities list, and special margin requirement. Okay, you can just click on any of these to see. Okay. Let's go back here. I'm going to go to home. David, your question about the masterclass days of week and month. I believe that was a strategy trading class or presentation that I did. It should be under masterclass. If you don't find it here, because the masterclass link that it's here, it's only going to show you like a sample, like 3 topics on each one of the categories. If you go to the strategy trading section, all you get is 3 videos there. We don't have the technology to do a carousel of videos. So if you want to load the full extent of all the masterclass sessions, what I would recommend you do is go to the TradeStation desktop. I'm not sure if you have it up on your screen, but let me go ahead and show you. I'm just going to log in here very quickly and show you what I would do. And I take this opportunity to also show it to everyone here, because on every presentation that I do, I think I highlight this application. It's let me just log in. It's an application that compiles all our webinars and presentations, and it's accessible from within the TradeStation desktop, which I think it's convenient. Anyone can load up the application and see all the presentations or the recent presentations. Go to apps, and it's called Video Station right here. Sorry for the size here. My screen is a high resolution monitor, so if I don't change the the size, everything looks very small. But let me go ahead and load up Video Station. Okay, and let me make this a little bit bigger. There we go. These are recent uploads. You can see that the most recent one here is from the day before yesterday. Here's a market recap. And you can see that we have all the presentations here. So to your question, David, if you go to Masterclass and then you go here to Strategy Elements, that presentation should be here. Let me see. If you don't see it in the first view, you have a Load More button. All right, let's see if it's here. Here it is. So day of week and month testing. This is the presentation that you're looking for. So make sure that you pull up Video Station and go to Masterclass and click on the Strategy Elements category to access that video. You're very welcome. Let's go over here to my Client Center again. Perfect. Let's go through some of the tabs here and discover some of the things that are there. Under Customer Profile, you're going to be able to change the username, change the password. We already talked about that. You can set your verification questions and two-factor authentication. The two-factor authentication, it's pretty cool. You know, we use a third-party app that's usually on your phone. So when you log into TradeStation, you have to confirm the login on your phone. Yes, sometimes it's annoying, and sometimes I find it annoying on some of websites that I access, you know, regularly. But just remember that this is set up for your own protection. This is not to protect, you know, TradeStation. This is to protect your account from threats, from breaches, whatever it is. We want to make sure that your information and your assets are secure. Community preferences right here. Community preferences refers to discussion forums. So this is going to allow you to create a forum screen name. If you haven't already done so, please do. Make sure that it's different than your TradeStation platform login. So that way you can go to the community and post there without any risk of sharing your account information. But the community can be accessed from the homepage. If you go back to the homepage, actually, no, you have from the top menu, you go to the support tab. That's where you find the discussion forums. You go to support, and you have, of course, health and support at the top, FAQs next, education and training third, and then the fourth one is the community. So this is the section right here where my cursor is, where you have all the forums to discuss, you know, TradeStation and Easy Language, the Easy Language library, and you also have access to a Trader Wiki. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the community. So if you're interested in, you know, things that are outside of the TradeStation desktop, like ideas, strategies, indicators, I encourage everyone to visit the forums and see all the discussions that are going on there. Okay. Especially the Easy Language file library. One of the things that I say about TradeStation is that it's very flexible and very customizable. And you can look for indicators in the file library that have been created and submitted by other TradeStation users, but you can bring them into your TradeStation platform and complement the library of indicators that's already built in. So it's a great way for you to go in there and see what indicators are popular and things that you can bring into your TradeStation platform. All right, going back to customer profile. So that's where you set up your community logins, and you have your software and data subscriptions, which we looked at already. Remember that we clicked on one of the quick links that says add, remove data or features, and it took us there. You also have that under customer profile. And if you click on payment information, okay, it does show me a little bit of information here. So I see the ability to select the account that I want to use for payment. Let me go over here because I may be on the PowerPoint. I may have some screenshots that give you a little bit more information. So, like for example, right here, this is the account opening process. We refer to it as AOP. When you click on open or add a new account, this is what you see, and it's pre-populated with your information. And you just go through the process of providing the information needed in order to open up a new account. Okay. Here, this is the place where you change your username and password. You can edit phone numbers, email, your address, mailing address, etc. This is your security questions. Here we have the two-factor authentication. You can reset it inside of the Client Center. We looked at this page already, and this is the one where you select which account. This is the one we were just in, or the one we were just on, where you select the account that you want to use for payment. A lot of things get paid from your brokerage account. You know, like for example, if there are any data fees or any platform fees or any other type of fees, they're going to be deducted from your funds in your brokerage account. So here it gives you the ability to select the account that you want to use for that, especially if you have multiple accounts with TradeStation. Here you can see that there's an individual equities, an individual futures, and an IRA. So you can change which account is being used for what fees. In the forum, David, you find other TradeStation users. So and you also find our support team. So when you post in the forums, you're gonna get responses from everywhere. So usually our team is monitoring posts every single moment, and you're expected to receive a response from our team within, I think it's 24 48 hours. But most likely somebody that is actively monitoring the forums in the outside, that is a TradeStation user, will also contribute and answer many questions there as well. So you make it a mixture from different people. Now, all these answers that you're going to be receiving inside of the forums, of course, have a profile, and you're going to see clearly which ones come from TradeStation's team and which ones are probably somebody or another experienced user. But these forums are designed for TradeStation users, so only TradeStation users are able to access these forums. All right. And Ricardo, your question about IRA accounts, yes, we do. We do IRA accounts on all assets, I believe. So we have IRA accounts on equities, IRA accounts on futures. So make sure that you talk to your account representative for details, or maybe submit an application right here inside of the Client Center. All right, perfect. So let's see what else is here. When you go to the accounts section inside of the Client Center, you have all your different accounts lined up here on the left navigation: crypto, equities, futures, and simulated accounts. So if you want to modify any of these, you can. Let me show you, for example, if I go to my equities account, this is the one that has the most menus, because you have statements, you have confirmations. Let me give you a brief view of all the documents that are available here. First, you're going to get a daily confirmation. Anytime you trade with the TradeStation platform, as a broker, we're required to generate what's called a daily confirmation. And this document is going to be available every single day that you trade inside of the Client Center, and you can pull it up right in here, and it'll tell you what were the transactions on that day. Notice here we have the date. This is from last year, and you can see the transaction. This is a spider put with a strike price of 445. It tells you the price that it was purchased at, and the net amount that this transaction cost. You also have access to statements. These are the monthly statements. This is what they look like. Pretty well organized. You have the total value of your securities, and what your net cash balance is, gives you your net equity. But it also gives you a transaction summary in terms of how much money was credited to your account this month and how much was debited, and it gives you a net cash activity. So all this information is on a monthly statement, and you can access it inside of the Client Center as well. It also gives you a breakdown of the securities that you traded. All right, this is part of the confirmation. I'm sorry, not the confirmation. This is part of the statement. And last, 1099s. So when it comes times to do your taxes, TradeStation will generate a 1099 for you with proceeds for that year. This is a document that is generated every year around the end of January, and we make it available inside of the Client Center as well. So you don't really have to call client services. You can just log into the accounts page inside of the Client Center and access your documents. Okay. We also have activity summary. That's right here on the left navigation. We have your balances, any open positions in your account. A lot of times, I just go directly to the TradeStation platform to access my balances, positions, and P&L, but that information is also accessible from within the Client Center. So if you don't have the platform open, you can log into the Client Center and get this information as well. And of course, you have the gain loss tax management. We have this little tool inside of the equities account that allows you to, take a look at your trading activity from a tax point of view. And you have all your open positions. You have the ability to change, how lots are being closed. TradeStation uses first in, first out, but you can decide, what to do and how to pair those entries and exits for tax reporting. We have a tax center that allows you to download all your trading activity in a lot of these software. So if you're using, Quicken or Gameskeeper for tax generation, then you can download your activity here. If you have an accountant, then you can download your trading activity into Excel or any other file that your accountant can use so that you can prepare your taxes, okay? In terms of simulated accounts, and this is something that you can also manage, many times if we're trading in a simulated account because we are learning or we are practicing TradeStation features, you may blow through all the funds in your simulated account, and it gets to a point that you may want to reset everything and say, well, what if I started from scratch? Remove all these crazy trades that I did at the very beginning and start with a clean slate. Well, you can go to the simulated accounts section here on the left, and you can add money, and you can also reset your account, your simulated account, from all trading activity. Something you cannot do on a real account. I wish there was a reset button, in a real account where if you lose, $5,000, let me just hit the reset button, like if nothing had happened. Nothing. It'd be great, right? You cannot do that on a real account, but on the simulated side, of course, you can. So you can add as much money as you need. I always recommend, if you're going to be using the simulator for testing a trading strategy, you want your simulator to have the same restrictions that your live account has. So if you're limited by funds, let's say that you only have $50,000, then you want to make sure that your simulator has $50,000. You don't want to have a simulator with $6 million like I do. I have my simulator set to $6 million because that's not realistic, so just I went on a tangent here, but just make sure that if you're resetting your simulator is for the right reasons. You want to make sure that you set realistic expectations in terms of trading. All right. Let's see. let's go over here to, you're welcome, Michael. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's go over here to the next. So here, yeah, you can see the amounts here. I can select, $5 million for an equities and options account. Not many of us have that amount of money, but many of us do. So just set your simulated balance to whatever your real account does so that you have a more realistic behavior. On the third tab right here on the main menu, we have transfer funds, and you can transfer cash, you can transfer an account. You can link your TradeStation account to external accounts. I'm not sure if you guys were aware of this, but it makes it very simple for you to connect your TradeStation brokerage account, maybe with your bank account, so that you can easily transfer money back and forth. And you have a transfer history page here to keep track of any transfers between your accounts. Download software is the fourth tab over on the main navigation menu. When you go to download platform, you have two options. You have the legacy version. Everybody should be using the most recent version of TradeStation. The reason for using the most recent version is because that's the one that's being updated. That's the one that's being enhanced. That's the one that's getting all the fixes. That's the one that it's more stable. But if you do want to do legacy, that's fine too. It's here more for educational partners or people that are on a special program, education or trading program, where the group uses the legacy version or the older version, and they can download from here as well. But if you had a choice as to which one to use, then use the current one. That's the one that's been out for, I would say, maybe the last 7, 8, maybe more. It seems like it's been a while since the new version of TradeStation is out. But here, when you go to the download software, you have some interesting information about system requirements. If you click here, it tells you how much computing power you need depending on the type of user you are. You also get well, actually, here on the left navigation, you have technical specifications, installation notes. So there's a lot of cool information in terms of technicalities around installing and downloading TradeStation that I want everyone to also review. Access the document library. We have a lot of forms in here for you to download. So you don't need to necessarily call our client services department to fill out a form. So in here, you have information such as changing your address. I'm not sure if you can change your address online. I think you can do it for certain types of accounts, but for other types of account, you have to download a document, fill it out, and fax it to us. Yes, I said the word fax. Seems so antiquated, right? I'm not sure if there's an email option. That is something that you can ask our client services department. I'm not even sure if fax is a thing here. I'm not in the client services department, so there's a lot of things that may be already updated, and you probably need to find out what the process is. A lot of these forms should have instructions on them as to where to send them, so that could be a way to find out. But here you have forms that allow you to change your account preferences, like IRA beneficiary change, or if you want to do a transfer on death form, or any of the options forms or tax forms. Just make sure that you explore the document library and see if there's something that you can do yourself without having to contact our client services department. And this is the end of the PowerPoint, so that's it on that side. Let me go back here to my client center. And I think it kicked me out. Did it? Yeah, I think it did. Let me click login again. All right. Let's go here and see. Yeah, client center. So we went through all the different tabs up here. So those are the main navigation tabs. We went through the quick links right here. And I just want to say that, there's a lot of things that are happening right here in the client center. And that's the reason why we have this dedicated class, just to show you what are all the resources that you have available in order to, manage your account. It's, my personal experience with calling support are not nice. And I would rather just go online and do things myself. And I'm sure many of you would rather do that. Although, talking to somebody also, it's very helpful sometimes. So feel free to go in here, explore, see all the things that are available to you. And I'm sure you're going to be able to manage your account successfully by doing a lot of these things. Okay, so that's it, guys. That's my presentation. Let's see. Hazib is asking what computer is compatible with trading in TradeStation, gaming, desktop versus laptop, processor, etc. I would recommend, Hazib, that you go here into the download software section and go into the system requirements. We've separated system requirements by user. These are the minimum requirements. These are the standard users, and these are the power user. And this is what we recommend as a minimum if you're a power user. So make sure that you come in here and see what is required. And when I was in tech support, because I was in tech support many years ago, and I would get this question a lot. I would get asked, this is what type of computer should I get? And I would always say, get as much as your budget allows you to get, because uh, it's the reality that the more you invest on a computer, the more stable the computer will be, and the more powerful the computer will be, and the better TradeStation will perform. Also, so a lot of times it's a relationship between cost and what is it that I'm going to do. Always classify, and also classify yourself as a user. Sometimes we may think that we need a super duper powerful computer, and then we just end up pulling up TradeStation with one single chart and a radar screen with 20 symbols. And that's not really taxing TradeStation in any way. So make sure that you are getting a computer that aligns with the way that you're going to be using your TradeStation, and make sure that you reach a balance there. But it's really tough because we can give you some information here as to what is required for TradeStation to run. But a lot of times, TradeStation is your own platform, and you're going to use it differently than anybody else that is a TradeStation client. So that use is unique to you, and you may encounter, performance issues that are exclusive to you. So just keep things in mind. I wanted to give you that little bit of information. All right. So thank you guys for joining me today. Have a wonderful afternoon. And remember that every Wednesday at 10 a.m. in the morning, we have our Getting Started class, a way for me to connect with our audience and make sure that you get all your questions answered. So have a wonderful afternoon. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.